Good. All right, it's 6 o'clock, so I'll call this special meeting of the Savoy Board of Trustees to order and have the clerk call the roll.
President Brown,
Here.
trustees Donaldson,
Here.
Dykstra, Camphor, Mangian,
Here.
Shunkweiler,
Here.
Maverick.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, and then for the record, the meeting is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. So in case anybody watches this later on video, we'll move on to public comment. Any public comment for tonight's meeting? I see no public comment, so we'll have to close public comment. We'll move on to our action items. Action item A is ordinance 2026-003, an ordinance approving and adopting the annual budget for fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2026 and ending April 30th, 2027. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'll turn this over real quick to Tina so she can update us a little bit.
Yeah, so you have the finished product in front of you. We did make a couple changes, more so we were able to add a little bit more into maintenance items for Public Works and the fire department, which was a big wish because as everyone knows, the increase in repairs has gone up drastically. So that is one of the big pushes that we did. I think, I apologize, I missed my page. IT went up a little bit as well because we're going to implement a couple new things. One of the things that Andy and I are looking at is implementing a new payroll package, or sorry, not package, a payroll module to help payroll go a lot easier, make it more up to date. So we were able to increase that a little bit. And then just to cover some software that we have purchased, big software that you have to pay for annually. And I really believe that's about it as far as big things.
And we got our numbers from the county clerk on our property taxes.
We did. Our levy came in and it is really close to what we hoped for. So we didn't have to make any additional changes. So we are staying at the same rate as we have been for quite a while.
All right. Do anybody have any questions, Dennis?
Is it still Cassell?
It is. And so you have the Cassell program and then you can add modules to make it, instead of having to buy like a whole new program, they're adding these modules and they're phenomenal because they are able to provide so much information for all the department heads without having to come to me for every single thing. They can go in themselves and look things up.
Good to hear. I know they said they were bringing that along, so I'm glad to hear that we're
Yes.
still. Thanks, Tina.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none.
Mr. President, can I just comment real quick? Tina put dozens and dozens of hours into the budget, including what you see in front of you. And I just want to commend her for the work she did. This was my first budget experience here in Savoy. It was collaborative, it was communicative, and I just appreciate the work she did. So I want to publicly note that.
We appreciate it. So, budget.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm going to jump on the bandwagon as a visually stimulated individual. The pie charts and graphs were very pleasant to pay attention to as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else want to tell Tina how great she is?
I think Tina's great. Just to early on in the process, when we got the spreadsheet, I asked a very large number of questions and they were answered promptly and completely, and it made it very easy to get and go through. And the finished product is awesome.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no other questions, we'll have the clerk take the roll.
Trustee Donaldson,
Yes.
Dykstra,
Yes.
Mangian. Yes. Shunkweiler,
Yes.
Fabric,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, with that motion carrying, I guess we can go on for another year now. And then we'll move on to resolution 2026 R21, a resolution authorizing the execution of law enforcement services agreement with the Champaign County Sheriff's Office. We normally would have waited till next month, but there's some time with this county sign up that it really was a benefit if we could get this done before the beginning of the month. So Andy, I'll turn it over to you to kind of tell the board what the new contract has. Oh, I'm sorry. I need a motion to approve the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Sorry, we'll move on to, I got ahead of myself.
You're just excited.
Yes.
Mr. President, I'll just be brief. And again, Tina actually spent a lot of time on this project as well, but we met a few months ago with the Sheriff's Department, and that too was, I think, very collaborative and a great discussion. But one of our goals was ultimately to increase the number of deputies assigned to the Village of Savoy so that we could increase the hours of patrol. And so this does that. And so you'll see that this is costing us more than it has in the past, but that's due to the fact that we're adding a deputy to Savoy, and ultimately we'll now have 24/7 coverage in the Village of Savoy. Part of that too, of course, through our agreement is that we purchase the squad car, so the additional squad car, the training, the mobile data computer, the things associated with adding a deputy. So that is the justification for the increased cost. But I have had a great experience working with the Sheriff's Department. They're extremely responsive. They address our needs when they come up. And I think that this 5-year agreement, as you note, this goes through 2031, is a great way to ensure that our community remains safe in a fiscally responsible manner with a group that we've come to trust and appreciate.
Any questions? Heather?
I would just request, and this is related to experiences being in a homeowners association and knowing that sometimes those spaces might need some attention from, especially with the e-bikes that are coming along now, just so that the sheriff's deputies, because that might not be on their radar, that those spaces are indeed owned by the HOAs. And so that might be different from many neighborhoods that just have standard blocks.
Yeah, and we have shared as things come in with the department, and they do add some due diligence to issues that arise. So I'm confident they do address those when they come up.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing no other questions, we'll have if the clerk could take the roll.
Trustee Dykstra,
Yes.
Mangian,
Yes.
Shunkweiler,
Yes.
Fabric,
Yes.
Donaldson,
Yes.
that motion carries.
Alrighty, that ends our agenda items. I do want to let the board know that Arbor Day is Friday. They'll be doing an event at the school at 10:30. Everybody is welcome. Also, the marathon is this weekend? Saturday. And then we have the film festival, the second year for this Savoy Film Festival that will take place the last weekend of the month. That everybody should have a brochure on that, but that will be over by the time we have another meeting. So without any other business, oh, just a second, Bill.
I think we had some folks who joined the meeting late. I was wondering if we could make an amendment to the agenda to put a public comment section in case they want to make a comment.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay, any debate with that? Okay, if the clerk can take the roll on that. I guess that was part of our agenda item, so we can do that, even though this is a special meeting.
It's out of order.
Trustee Mangian,
Yes.
Trustee Mangian,
Yes.
Shunkweiler,
Yes.
Fabric.
Yes.
Donaldson.
Yes.
Dykstra,
Yes.
President Brown.
Yes. All right. We'll move back to public comment. It should be on, or was on.
Oop,
I
hear
think
that.
we're back.
We're back.
Okay. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Got out of work late, ran over here and didn't want to speak. So thank you all for big piece of grace.
Thank you.
I did want to take this opportunity. Staff here at Savoy, in conversations, this is just a follow-up from the meeting that we had on Monday. There was a lot of public talk opposing the rezoning of Shelton and 12 by West Church Street. I did want to provide the trustees additional information about Cottage Court that we are proposing. And this would be my business partner, Lena Clifton, also a resident, and also the business owner recently opening Spitfire Chicken. Anyone's hungry for after a meeting, it's fabulous. After hearing the public comment, I really wanted to take time and address the concerns that were expressed that evening. Unfortunately, I don't have as many reports for everyone who's here, and I'm happy to provide electronic copies for those that don't have hard copies right now. The cottage court concept is intentionally proposed to be a transitional way to go from single family homes to a higher density population on those two lots without it feeling overwhelming. The proposal for going from the R2 to the R5 zoning, which the board did approve on Monday after a lot of conversation, will allow us to provide 8 new cottages that are 2 bed, 2 bath, about 83 square feet, utilizing all of zoning requirements and not looking for any additional variances that are listed in the UDO. So because there were so many, sorry. Thank you. Okay. Now I don't have to scream. So, because there were so many questions, I did want to prepare this information for the board for you to look over. Happy to take any questions that you may have today or any other time. I know that the next steps for this are to review what the zoning board is recommending to you as the trustees, to have your open session on the 6th, and then to pass the final vote on the 13th. So you have 2 reports in front of you, and I'm happy to send those electronically to each of you. One is the plan for the cottage court. The other one would be the financial impact that the cottage court would provide. One of the most notable things would be over $14,000 in taxes to our Unit 4 upon completion every year for that. So I did just want to take this opportunity to let you know that I did take into consideration a lot of the public comment that was shared on Monday evening. I do take public comment very seriously, and our goal is to create living environments and experiences that are going to work very, very well for this specific community. So thank you all again for giving me the opportunity for public comment. And if you have questions, please feel free to let me know.
We don't normally go back and forth with the public comment. But if, I mean.
Yep, I'll
trustees
be here
wanna get
afterwards. So
moving,
thank you very much.
All right. Is there any other public comment? Bill?
If you want, there is no trustees comment. I do want to thank one of our local business owners. There's been some issues with the driveway out by the movie theater and some quite significant potholes that are there. I went out there in my truck and I actually got almost up to the axle in a pickup truck. They were quite deep and they were full of water. So I didn't know how deep they were when I went in them. The folks at Sarah have, were concerned about losing vehicles, concerned about damaging vehicles that they have. They made the repairs at no cost to the village and currently, I understand, at no cost to the movie theater. So we do have a lot of residents who use that. It is a private drive. It's not village responsibility. I've been in contact with them. Great to work with Ori here in the village. Great working with Roland in the village. They help provide a lot of information and move things along. But of course, it wasn't village property, so it wasn't something that we should fix. Amazing to see a local business owner step up and say, this is needed. It's needed for our business. It's needed for our community. And they just made the repairs. So kudos to our colleagues at Sarah for making that happen.
Yes.
I was gonna say, along with that, Bill, with potholes alongside the movie theater and behind the movie theater, I've talked with Ori 3 or 4 or 5 times. The movie theater has promised that they are working on getting that taken care of. But it hasn't come to fruition yet. So, as far as I know, but yeah, we've had that problem back there too. They're not as deep as the ones that were, well, the two alongside.
See Heather's
They're pretty deep.
hand up.
I concur with Bill. I actually went into Sarah because to follow up on that, and they helped look at ownership of that. It's Lyndhurst Alley, I believe, where those that giant deep hole was. And I had thought that it was a very quick turnaround from finding the company that owned Lyndhurst Alley, but I did not realize that Sarah repaired it. So that I'm glad that they did. It's a well frequented egress to and from the Savoy Plaza.
All right, this is a special meeting, so we can only discuss special meeting items. I know that, so I will declare us with agenda items over, I'll declare us adjourned.